What social norm do you absolutely despise? The stigma of being right, or being angry embarrassed from being wrong. If you are wrong, you learn something. That's great. Too many people that are just too embarrassed when they are corrected, so they stubbornly keep pressing their incorrect statement. The notion that wedding rings have to be ultra expensive or they aren't worth shit. I personally like bling, but I wasn't about to have my now husband spend the down payment on a house for a ring. For what the tiniest ring at a jewelry store would have cost, I got a huge ring because it was gold and lab-created diamond. It looks a million times better than anything we could ever afford, and I love it. When I tell people what it is, they look disgusted. Plus, everyone asked how much it was when I got it. They made it out like my husband was a dick for not spending more on a ring. People have issues if the relationship is apparently no good unless you spend $20,000 plus on a ring. Business casual. Is it really that big of a deal if I wear a t-shirt and some jeans to sit alone in my cubicle for 8 hours? I'm not interacting with customers face to face. Nobody goes nuts every casual Friday, so why not just make that the norm? Exchanging gifts that no one actually wants on holidays. I have a friend who would literally exchange a certain amount of money with his ex-girlfriend. He would give her £100 and she would give him £100 back. Weirdest shit. Needing an excuse to say no to something. I feel like just no should suffice. I hate having to say bye to every single person at an event. Why can't Irish exits be more of a thing? You can be socially awkward like me and say bye to like one person and then wave to everyone who isn't paying attention, and then leave. Best part is, if they mention they didn't notice you leave, you can say you said bye to everyone, because of the wave, but they didn't acknowledge you and you didn't want to interrupt them. Works every time. I just say bye to the host of the event, and the person I was most recently interacting with, and then as I'm walking out the door I'll shout, "Bye guys." Bye guys! Fuck off, Steve. Haha, you guys are the best. In Germany, when we are in a pub and someone's arriving or leaving, all it takes is a loud knock onto the table of the group, and as a reply the whole group knocks. Wow, Germans are even efficient in their hellos and goodbyes. The "it's family" sense of duty, even if said family members are soul-munching, freeloading wastes of space. Unquestionable respect for people just because of their age or rank. Same applies to missing or recently dead people. Definitely people who have passed away. All of a sudden they become brilliant loving people because you can't speak ill of the dead. No. Piss off with that. Dying doesn't make someone a saint. I'm an Indian and there is this thing where you have to somehow respect and uphold every wish your parents have with your life. Now I love my parents, and they are pretty much cool with a lot of my decision, but I've met and seen a lot of people who had to choose a career they weren't interested in one bit just because their parents wanted it. A lot of girls and boys have to marry someone they've known for mostly months, or they know them well but don't want to marry them just for the sake of parents. A lot of girls and boys don't get to be with the person they love just because their parents don't approve. The biggest problem is if you stand up to them for making your own life decisions, somehow you're an ungrateful a-hole who doesn't appreciate the sacrifices they've made for you. Another shit argument is that parents could never mean to harm their child, so every child should just follow everything their parents tell them to do. It's like Indian parents don't want their child to make any mistakes, so they don't let them make decisions at all. I love my parents, I respect them, and I appreciate everything they've done for me, but at the end of the day it's my life and I want to live it the way I see fit. And if I make mistakes, it's alright, I'll learn from them and grow. The struggle of a first-gen. I recently found out there are therapists that specialize in first-gen therapy, which makes so much sense to me. I hate being expected to talk to hairdressers, especially ones I don't see regularly, about my life. I sometimes tell the woman who cuts my hair that I'm tired and just want to chill and not talk. She prob likes it honestly cause she has to make bullshit small talk with people all damn day. When you say you have no plans and people use that as an excuse to make you do stuff. My plan is to have no plans, god damn it. The 5,000 pre-wedding parties that seem to be both the norm and prohibitively expensive for all involved, including guests. Who honestly needs an engagement party, a kitchen tea party, a bridal shower, bridesmaids luncheon, a hens, a 4-day bachelor bender, and a rehearsal dinner? I dislike the reaction I get when I say I'm happily single. On one hand, I get people who seem to think I'm secretly gay and don't want to come out, which I'm not, or on the other I get sympathetic looks with the, "Oh, I'm sure the right one will come along when the time is right" spiel. Not many are willing to accept I am happy being single, and it seems to be an oddity that I am happy to be that way for now. Why can people not accept being in a relationship is not such a big deal to some people? Because then they would have to accept that there is more than one way for people to be happy, and thus there exists the possibility that they are missing out on something, and thus are worse off than you. Moronic, isn't it? People telling me to smile or telling me I'm mad just because I'm not actively smiling. Fuck off. My mom does that all the time. We're just casually talking in the car and I give normal answers without an exaggerated reaction voice tone, and she immediately says, "Why are you pissed off again?" Like, boy, I just came from work and I'm tired. I already spent the whole day smiling and behaving nice to my bosses and coworkers. I just want to chill. Geez. Being nice to disabled people, some of them are dicks. I hate when people don't think of them as normal people. I have a mental illness and often find myself explaining to friends that just because someone has depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder or anything of the sort, it doesn't exclude them from the capability of being a cunt. I was at a bar once, and this dude in a wheelchair just wheeled right onto my foot. He looked at me and said, "Watch it, dick! Can't you see I'm trying to get through here?" To which I replied, "I was standing still. You were the one that was moving. You're the one that has to watch it." Some random dude came up to me while I was finishing saying that and was like, "Dude, are you seriously arguing with a guy in a wheelchair right now?" That was pretty much the end of it because Wheels left with a smug look on his face, and the douchey protector guy just looked at me and shook his head. Still makes me angry when I think about it, just because both of them left thinking they were in the right. That I can't wear the same set of clothes 2 days in a row. I work with cement every day, and sometimes I just don't want 5 fucking sets of cemented up clothes. I just wear the same shit anyway, sleeveless band tee and some BDU pants. It's not usually my coworkers that say anything, but the clients and homeowners. What kind of cement worker cares about what his coworkers wear? Can you believe what John is wearing? I know he wore that same top on Tuesday. This one is big in the UK, so writing Christmas cards to everyone you know. Fuck that. Just writing to their name "Merry Christmas. Love your name" is bullshit and tedious. If I write a card, it's because I give a fuck about you and I will write a personalized message. If you give me a bullshit card and expect one back, tough shit. Your worth is not measured by how many Christmas cards you receive. The fact that some teachers and even professors have so much power over your future. You can piss them off out of pure coincidence, and they can make your educational life miserable. Giving a damn about what any celebrities are up to like they're some kind of deity. That's the only reason why certain famous people stay famous. Money being such a terrible gift. I have repeatedly told my parents and relatives that the only thing I want is money. I don't complain if they give me something else, but what really pisses me off is when I get gift cards. Everyone knows I want money, but I get gift cards that I have to use before a time limit is out and on something I might not even want. Social media. What would you say if I said almost everyone living in suburbia is required to maintain a crop of a plant that is inedible, that must be trimmed on an almost weekly basis, that consumes more water than any other crop in the world, and if a person's crop is allowed to die or grow out of control, that person is stigmatized by the entire community. Fuck lawns. Filming an entire gig on your phone. Put your phone down and enjoy the experience. Who even rewatches those videos? The sound is always fucking horrendous. Why it is felt necessary to put pressure on introverts to interact more. I am actually by definition not bothering you. Why do you feel the need to come and bother me? Why aren't extroverts criticized for needing much more attention from everyone around them? Why is it seen as preferable to be demanding of other people's time and attention, instead of just being content with your own company and keeping yourself to yourself? Sitting next to people you know on the bus. I used to be fine with this one, but 4 months ago I got a new coworker who I shared the bus to work with in the morning. She is a lady in her 50s, incredibly boring and talks very quietly. Her worst feature, however, is her breath. It can only be described as death and decay. When the smell hits you, it's not like tobacco breath which hits you in the face. No, her breath is like the unholy child of a dementor and an assassin. When you realize you've been hit, you are already dying. Joy leaves your body and the world around you withers. She is aware of her issues, as she is always chewing mint gum, but that smell is just added on top of her putrid death breath. She always sits at the first row in the bus, so there is no casual way to avoid her. That smell is tooth decay. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do without a dentist once it's already that bad. If she's aware of it, it's probably why she talks quietly, doesn't want to bathe you in her death breath. The happy birthday song. For my birthday every year I request that it not be sung. And that's exactly why it's sung to you. The fact that you're required to say, "I'm good," when someone asks how you're doing. Tell them how you really are doing and they will never ask you again. What social norm do you absolutely despise? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.